As some of you may know, last fall I sold my beloved 1985 Mazda RX-7. It was an amazing car. I have owned 3 Mazda RX-7s and a Mazda Miata, and ever since that day I've been getting asked, what am I replacing it with? Why did I, out of the blue, sell my RX-7 in search of something else? Well, now today I am going to answer that question. What I have replaced my Mazda RX-7 with is this, a 2023 Volvo XC90 Recharge. It's turbocharged, it's supercharged, it's a hybrid, and there's a lot more to it than what I'm putting off. So let me tell you a story. The story starts back in late October of 2022. I was out at Big Bend National Park down in Texas after spending a couple days at the Formula One race. I was on a 2-week road trip, sightseeing in the beautiful state of Texas, going to Big Bend, which is now one of my favorite national parks there is. But going to and from that national park, it's about an 8-hour drive from Austin, Texas. So on my way leaving that park, I had an 8-hour drive. Now I was with my girlfriend, but if it's longer than a 30-minute drive, she knocks out as soon as the car's put into gear. So I had a lot of time to think. And during that thinking, I thought about my RX-7 and the fact that I didn't really drive it all that much. Sure, I did take it out on a couple of night cruises and it was a lot of fun, but I was always worried it was going to break. I never really had full trust in my blue RX-7. Now, I did have a red RX-7 before that. That's actually what the channel icon is and what will always be the channel icon, because that's the car that started this channel. But on that drive, I just kind of thought that the RX-7 had become a glorified paperweight. And as it sat outside in the elements, it wasn't really getting the love that it deserved. So then and there, I decided to sell the RX-7. Now, I actually had another car lined up to replace the RX-7, and that was a Toyota Corona diesel. It was imported from Japan. My good friend Scott owns it, and it's actually for sale right now. You could check out the description if you'd like to buy that car that I was selling my RX-7 for. I had it all lined up. I was gonna buy a diesel Toyota, make some videos with it, have some fun with it, and go on my merry way. That was going to be the replacement for the RX-7. But then came Thanksgiving and Christmas, and I got busy, and unfortunately I had a garage spot lined up for that new Corona, because that car was beautiful, it had no rust on it, and so I didn't want it sitting out in the elements. Well, that garage spot actually fell through, so then I couldn't purchase the car at the time I wanted to. So I thought to myself, I'll wait and I'll buy it here in spring. But then something really interesting happened. I joined an association called MAMA. It's the Midwestern Automotive Media Association. And the first meeting I went to was a Christmas party where I met a bunch of people in the industry, representatives from Mazda, Jeep, and Volvo. And as those talks progressed, I got in contact with someone who runs a press car fleet. A press car is a car that is loaned out to journalists for the sake of reviews. They usually get them for about a week so they can thoroughly learn about them, drive them, and give their honest takes. Well, I was fortunate enough to talk to some of those people and get my name thrown in the ring for press cars. Now, this has been in the works since early December, but I'm excited to say that here in February, I am now getting press cars. So this is not my car. This is a press loaner that I'll have for the next week, and of course you'll see a review of it here on the channel. But now I will be receiving a press car every week, almost every week. So these cars will take up the space in the driveway that the RX-7 used to occupy. So I no longer have space. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna have an 80s car for probably a while until I move out and find my own space, of which I would then like to pick up a car. But there's a couple of life things in the way for me moving out, and that's neither here nor there, but moving out is in the plans in the near future, and I don't want to be lugging around a project car with that and all of the parts that came with that. I didn't even put this in the end of the Rotary Life video, but I called up my friend Matt in Milwaukee, and he luckily came and picked up all of my extra parts for the RX-7. I have no RX-7 parts left over, besides the blown up 12A rotor and housing is still in my garage. So yes, this is the replacement for the RX-7 this week, and then next week it'll be a Hyundai Ioniq 5. Then after that it'll be a Mazda CX-50, and after that it'll be a Toyota Sequoia. So plenty of stuff. I did this for the channel. I'm very, very excited to be getting press cars And I think if you're in my situation, you might give up a faulty project car for a new car every week, at least if you were in the line of work that I am. With all of that being said, thank you so much to everyone who followed along with the RX-7 build. I will definitely buy some 80s car down the road, whether that's next year, 2 years, 5 years from now, I don't know. But thank you everyone that got me to this point. I'm so incredibly excited to bring press cars to you guys. More thorough, better reviews, building relationships with the manufacturers can only be beneficial. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was relatively informative. I'm sorry that I don't have an 80s replacement for the RX-7, but I think for the benefit of the channel, this is more exciting. Take care, guys.